my name is Kit, and today I'm talking to Tomo.
Yeah.
Do you prefer to be called Tomo or Tom?
Tomo, yeah.
Tomo is good, okay,
yeah.
okay. Tomo, you've been in business now for a while as a carpenter stroke handyman, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, how long have you worked for yourself?
I've been self-employed for about 6 years.
Okay, alright. What kind of jobs do you do?
Anything from hanging doors and maintenance to new build and small extensions and stuff like that. But generally with domestic jobs is kind of renovation and upkeep of their houses.
So there is also some handyman type work involved, is that right, in a domestic?
That's right, yeah. Anything from kind of repairs to the odd leak that they've got, or repairing electrics or stuff like
For
that.
sure.
So.
I want to talk in a moment about the kind of jobs you do, but tell me, how did you get into carpentry and handyman type work?
Right, well, I went to college and did a GMVQ in carpentry and joinery. That's when I was 17, and then I got a job for a company. So I worked in a joinery shop and for a shop fitting outfit. And then I started looking for work myself, and got a few bit of advertising out there, and word of mouth. I started doing jobs for friends and family, and just built up a business from there, really.
Okay. And are you happy to talk about prison, or do you want to?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course, yeah.
So tell me, Tomo, you also had a spell in prison, is that right? What happened there?
That's right. It was a dangerous driving was what I was convicted for. Right. It was I got into some cannabis, a bit of a supply of cannabis,
right.
And the police obviously came looking to me for that, and I kind of ran from the police and got into a dangerous driving.
Okay.
Dangerous driving offence.
And how long were you sent down for?
I got sentenced to 2 years, and I served a year of that.
And where was that?
It was in Bristol.
Okay.
I served it in Hallfield and Earlstoke.
Okay.
So that's Devizes.
When you came out of prison, did you have a view as to what you wanted to do?
Well, I did have a view because I was a carpenter before I went in, so I kind of had that, small business kind of set up already. I did kind of change more to doing general, moved away from the carpentry a bit and started doing other kind of handyman jobs, decorating and a few tiling jobs and repairs and stuff, so I kind of had to broaden the type of work that I did.
Do you think there is more work in carpentry? Is there more work in handyman type work? What do you think?
I think for me at the moment there's more work in the general handyman type job. It's because I'm doing domestic jobs for people in people's houses. You find that for them to just get a carpenter in to do a door, they're going to have to then get somebody in to decorate after I've done my work. So I had to kind of broaden my jobs to do a whole range of things rather than just the carpentry side of it. So yeah, I think there's more work in handyman in a domestic environment as well.
And did you pick up those additional skills as you went, or were you familiar with them broadly anyway?
Yeah, I did pick up most of them as I went, really. A few. Obviously, being in the trade, I've met a lot of tilers, and I've watched them work, and decorators as well. So I kind of picked up little bits from watching them when I was a working carpenter, and a couple of times trying it yourself, and you pick it up quite quickly. So basic plumbing and electrics as well, I managed to pick up. So I could probably manage to do basic things, and then I usually get a qualified friend of mine to come and check it over before it's handed over.
Let's say I wanted to be a self-employed handyman. What steps, let's say I had some skills, because I've grown up with these skills, what would I need to do tomorrow? What would I need to do to set myself up?
To be a
self-employed handyman?
Well, I suppose you'd obviously have to get the word out there that you were working, so some advertising and stuff like that. And I suppose you'd probably need some skill set to start you off. There's a lot of courses and things that you could do, quick courses, a couple of days that would give you a start, give you some basic skills to get started. So I'd probably suggest doing something like that. And then of course, if you really had a bit of time and you could get the funding, you could probably start with the GMVQs and.
Tomo, are there many competitors?
Yeah, there are quite a lot of small builders about at the moment. I think that's probably the hardest part is really getting enough work to carry you through, to kind of getting your name out there.
Does it get easier as you get better known?
Yeah, it does, and I'd say most of my jobs now are word of mouth from jobs that I've done before, people talking. I used to advertise in a couple of local papers, and I've stopped doing that now because I didn't seem to be getting enough comeback for what I was paying, and now I don't think I really need it. With the internet and stuff now, people do talk, and it seems that it's kind of set up itself really. I seem to get enough work through that.
What kind of customers would you get? What kind of people are they?
No, most of the time they're just domestic jobs, people who kind of want to employ local builders. A lot of it's local people, so a lot of people I kind of know from the village where I live and know from around here in Bedminster, but mainly local people who would, I think they want to use local builders.
Would you call them middle class people? Are they families?
Yeah, most of the work I'd say is middle class families, yeah. Majority I'd say are middle class, yeah.
And you've done some commercial work as well, haven't you? You've done some night work.
Yeah.
As a subcontractor.
Yeah,
right?
I've done a lot of commercial work over the time. Worked for various companies and in a joinery shop and on site first and second fix.
How would you get that kind of work?
With that kind of work, I suppose it's more your qualifications that speak volumes, really. Obviously, these companies, when I apply for a job, I need a CV and references and evidence of my qualifications. So I think the handyman work is not, you don't need as much evidence to do that, if you know what I mean. Really, it's just your experience and you talking to them and word of mouth. They know what jobs you can do and what you can handle and stuff.
So a potential client contacts you, they ring you and they say, can you come round, I've got some various jobs.
Yeah.
Tell me what happens then. You go round to their house, what happens then?
Yeah, well, I do free quotes, so I'd go around and look at a job and have a look. I'd obviously write down how long I think it would take and roughly the materials I think I'd need, what is involved in the job. And I try and give them a quick kind of, roughly how much I think, how long I think it would take and roughly how much I think it would cost. And then I go home and have a bit of a thorough think about it and then give them a call and kind of verify the quote. So just tell them roughly what I need and how long I think it would take and what I think it's going to cost them.
Do you know what proportion of jobs people will say yes to?
Recently, it seems to be quite low. It seems that I'm going out and doing a lot of quotes. I suppose it's because there's a lot of competitors out there.
And are people short of money right now?
I think they are, yeah. And you find that the price, I tend to put in quite a low price just to make sure I get the job, and that used to work quite well. But I think now, even with a low price, I think people are you could tell they're kind of trying to not bump you down, but you could tell they think they're trying to get it a bit cheaper. I don't know whether they've been to somebody else and got another quote and know they can get it done cheaper, or whether it's just a tactic that they're using.
Of course.
But yeah, I think it's harder now, definitely.
If you were to do handyman work, if you were to set up as a handyman, what kind of equipment? I mean, you're basically saying a basic set of tools you would need.
Yeah, basic hand tools really. I think you could get away with. I mean, I've got a massive range of tools with the carpentry, so obviously they come in handy. But I think you could, with basic hand tools, you could kind of cover a range of simple domestic jobs. Anyway, yeah, obviously.
Would you get the client to go and buy paint or whatever?
I do, yeah. It's a lot easier for, I just say, if they supply the materials, then they just have to deal with me for labour. And I obviously give them an estimate of what they're going to need and how much it's going to cost. So I kind of research that and put it in a quote, but then they'd be responsible for the materials. It just makes it easier for me. So then I'm just invoicing them for my labour. I'm just charging them for my labour.
So if I was to start up as a handyman tomorrow, I would need some tools, which I probably might have, or I could probably borrow them from mates or whatever. Is that right?
Yeah.
What about transport? I'd need transport, would I, to get to people's houses?
Yeah, it's definitely handy to have a van. I mean, obviously I got banned from driving for 3 years as part of my conviction, so that's what's made it a bit harder for me, but I have managed to survive. As I said, a lot of the jobs I take are local, family and friends, and if it's somebody who I know, I can arrange for a lift from friends as well. I've got a guy with a van who, I just give him a couple of quid. He's usually out and about, and he'll drop me and my tools off to the job.
Okay.
And pick me up at here. So.
Then you might need some advertising, or you might want to put cards through people's doors or whatever as well, maybe.
Yeah, I got a business cards that are working quite well for me at the moment, and I did do the advertising in the local papers. There's a couple of villages where I was born, just outside Bristol, and yeah, I did do quite well from like a weekly advertisement in there. But I think now I've stopped that. I'm getting enough work just handing out my cards.
And then you'd need to know what your living costs were going to be, so you could cover your living costs, the transportation, your advertising, and any extra tools you'd need to acquire along the way or replace ones.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I try and hold back a bit of my wage, just for that, in case I need a job which needs some different tools, or if I need to get to the job, just try and hold back a bit of the money, because there's nothing worse than turning down a job because you haven't got that little bit to get started, or you can't get to the job or something like that. So.
We were talking a while ago about pricing, and clearly there are people, you like to set your price fairly low. Do you know what your competitors charge?
No.
Do you know what people expect to pay?
It's a difficult one, that really, because I think people charge quite a range of things. I've been to jobs before, and people are quite amazed at how I can do the job for that cheap. So they must have had a quote done before and found it really, really expensive. I work on an average of about £8 an hour. Mm-hmm. So, if I'm doing an 8-hour day, I suppose anything from 8 to 10. Ideally, I'd like to take home £100 a day, but as I said, I've been taking it taking a lower price just to make sure I get a job, unfortunately. So.
And if the economy picks up more, do you think people will be prepared to pay more when things get better?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think so. And I do find sometimes people are so pleased with the work I've done, and I think maybe not how I've presented myself because I'm quite a scruffy chap, but how I tidied up after myself, kind of looked after the job, kind of dealt with the customer. I find that sometimes they're, giving me that extra bit as well.
Do you think personality is important? Being friendly, having a smile,
Yeah,
talking to
I think
people?
that's a really big part of it. Because obviously you're going into people's houses and, say there's a single mother or something, she wants to feel safe. Sometimes she's having to leave me alone in her house, so she wants to trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously she might have kids and stuff, and a lot of the time you find people aren't, they have to go about their business while you're working, so sometimes they have to leave you in the house on their own. So I think, trust and personality is quite a big part of it, really.
Do you look at Gumtree at all, or any of these online sites at all?
Yeah, I just started really getting into that now. I've got internet on my phone and my laptop. I've got quite a few jobs from there recently.
And is that where you've seen a job advertised, or where you've promoted yourself on those sites?
A bit of both, really. But most of the ones recently are answering people's adverts, so they're a bit desperate. They've put an advert out, and yeah, that's where I got this shop fitting job at the moment, the Peter Express job.
And would you advertise yourself on those sites?
Yeah, I'm not at the moment, but there's a few really good websites out there designed, for that. Quite a few. One of the one I want to get on is the Rated People. It seems to be a really good site.
So would you say the lifestyle was good? Would you enjoy being self-employed?
Yeah, I do. So I'm my own boss, and I pick my own hours, and I really enjoy it. It's kind of a bit of freedom and a bit of responsibility as well. I'm not going to tie it down to slaving away for somebody else and earning their money.
Yeah. Would you go? I mean, apart from doing a bit of subcontracting work, would you go back to being employed?
Yeah, I considered it recently because I had a couple of low patches, and I really considered just to have that regular income, because sometimes it can be quite hard. Sometimes you've got a really busy week and you're turning jobs down, and other times you've got a really quiet week and you're struggling, and you think, well, if I was working for an employer, I'd probably be earning a bit less, but I'd have that regular paycheck every week.
Yeah. Okay. It's a cash business, isn't it? People are going to give you cash.
That's right.
What about the taxman? You need to tell the tax. You need to submit a return, wouldn't you? A self-assessment return to the taxman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm quite lucky. My dad is an accountant, so he does a lot of my work for me. But yeah, I declare everything I do, cash or check.
And what about keeping records?
Yeah, I just have a invoice book and a cash book. So if I do have to spend anything myself, if the client wants me to buy the materials, and I just make sure everything I spend goes in the cash book, and just record my hours, and obviously my invoice book records what I get paid at the end of the job.
And you just operate as a sole trader. You wouldn't go to being a limited company or whatever.
No, I'm just a sole trader at the moment. I think my turnover is so little that I can stay as I am as a sole trader.
Okay. And then you don't have to worry about VAT, because you're not really buying materials or anything like that.
No, and my income's not enough to worry about VAT.
No. Okay. Is there anything you wish you'd known when you started? Anything you wish that you know now that you could have known when you started?
I don't suppose there's anything in particular is just experience, really, little things that I've picked up along the way. I suppose just the knowledge that I can actually do it myself. I suppose that was a big part of it.
So would you have wanted to start earlier, do you think?
Yeah.
Did you avoid doing this before?
Yeah, I think part of a confidence thing, you know, and it just seemed like that's what I should do, work for somebody else. That just seemed like the natural thing to do. But yeah, I think if I'd have started it earlier, I think I could have built up. I think I'd probably be doing a bit better now.
What mistakes might someone make if they were set up as a handyman? What do you think typically mistakes they might make?
Well, a big thing is underpricing. You know, sometimes you find you're kind of kicking yourself because the time that you've spent on the job is not working out cost effective for you. Obviously, if you put in a price and give them a rough time, if a job takes you longer, you've got to stay and finish the job, and for your hourly rate could be coming down and down. If you have difficulty, a lot of the time with old houses and stuff, you find that you don't know what you're going to find until you peel the top back.
So is there any advice you might give to someone who is thinking of setting up as a handyman?
Just give it a go. You know, just be confident in yourself that you can do it, really. And if it seems to be a bit out of, if you seem to be a bit out of, out of your depth, you can find a bit of digging around. You can find information on how to overcome these problems and what to do, really. I think just give it a go, really, is the main thing. And after you've done a few jobs, you'll build up you'll get the experience you need, really.
Tomo, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.